Welcome back. It's Monday morning and a wonderful time for motivation. We have Fola Daniels, who is an international keynote speaker, training facilitator, business consultant, quite a lot, an author, of course, more than 13 books. And today our topic, we'll be talking about consistency. Consistency pays off. That's our topic, consistency.
Yes.
Consistency. And now making me think about the things I said. I wanted to be consistent about that. I've not been able to keep up with. Well, let's go, yeah?
I can imagine.
But
yeah.
let's talk about importance. How important is this thing? Consistency. We've heard it a lot of times. How important is it?
Absolutely important. There's not much you can achieve without consistency. And I can understand that people tend to drop off or drop the balls because they've done something for quite a while. They've not seen the desired results. Maybe you've been at it for 6 months, you've been at it for 1 year, you've been at it for 2 years, some people even 5 years, and they think that there should be a timeline to certain results. So they quickly drop off when they don't get what they want within their timelines. Sometimes the thing about consistency is that you can't focus more on timelines than the results. If you focus more on timelines, you're going to drop off immediately because you believe that maybe after 2 months, after 3 days, after 1 week, you should have gotten your results. But some of the things that you're going to do and get the right results, there's no timeline. You just have to keep going. You're done when you get the results. You're not done when it's 8 a.m. You're not done when it's 2 years. You're not done when it's 10 years. Some of the things I do today, anybody who knew me 20 years ago would not be surprised at all. I've been doing this for more than 20 years. So when they see me today, they just, oh, we're not surprised. That's what you've been doing all along. So you just cannot give up. You have to keep at it. Take, for example, look at water. When a drop of water falls consistently on the same spot, a drop of water looks harmless. It looks like it doesn't have any impact. But dropping consistently on the same spot, what do you think will happen to that spot? It's just a matter of time. You see a hole on the same spot, but it's just a drop of water.
Even when it's concrete.
And it doesn't look like it's impactful. But because of the consistency on the same spot, eventually it gets that result. Even the cars you call bulletproof cars, shoot it consistently on the same spot, the bullets will eventually penetrate. So that tells you the power in consistency. But again, people think, oh, by this time I should have had this. By 20, I should have been married. I should have been a millionaire. By 30, I should have bought my first house. By 40, I should have hit it big, riding the latest cars. No, it's more about consistencies. And I'm sure you've also had stories of, people who almost hit gold. They almost struck gold, and then they turned back. Some people almost struck diamond, and they almost struck. Just a few weeks back, I was talking with Mazino, and we talked about acres of diamond. And this guy thought that the diamonds he was looking for was somewhere far away, and he didn't dig deep enough. So he sold everything he had, went to another land, only for him to realize years later when he had lost everything that what he was looking for was right under his house.
Okay.
So the consistency is something that you must work at. The only thing is, be creative about what you do so that you don't wear out immediately. Be creative about what you do so that you don't burn out too soon. You have to find a way to keep yourself on the journey.
How about the case where, you're talking about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. That's quite a long time. What people that can't stay consistent for weeks? So for instance, let's start with something fitness.
Yeah.
Say you have a fitness goal and it's all about consistency, maybe with your diet or consistency with working out. Yeah. And then you do 2, 3, 4 days and then you can't pick up. Now the question is, how can you keep yourself consistent? How can you keep yourself fired up or motivated to be consistent in that kind of a scenario?
The first thing we have to do is that, particularly in this generation, we must take away the instant result mentality. If we don't deal with that mentality that I must get it now, I must get it quickly, I must get it so soon, if we don't deal with that mentality, we will never be consistent at anything. Now, you talked about diets. Let me just quickly link it with riding a sheep. I was told that if you're on a sheep and you try to change the course of a sheep, the rudder, something like a steering of the sheep, it's really small. Yeah. So they said that once you try to change the course of the sheep, you have changed direction, but you don't see the result immediately because it is assumed that what you did was accidental. But if you stay consistent with turning the direction of the ship, then the ship gradually begins to follow the new direction. If you turn and you don't stay consistent with that turning, the ship will just assume, okay, that wasn't intentional, and it follows the previous path. But if you stay on that turning, then it changes the course. So it's the same thing with diet. Some people will tell you that if you want to change your diet, you want to lose weight, it could take months to actually lose your weight, depending on your body shape, your body type, your genes and stuff like that. So if you don't eat certain things for just a week and you think that you should have seen the shape, that's not going to work. For example, how old are you? How long have you been eating what you ate to get where you were? So if you've been eating that stuff for 15 years, how do you think you'll lose it in 5 days? If you've been eating or drinking, or if you have a habit that has kept you in a particular shape for over 10 years, how do you think you can just lose
So
everything?
now in the case where somebody knows, I know, and they've started it, but even with that knowledge, there's still that motivation to keep at it. They know, so they're not trying to say, I want the result now. They know it will take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but the motivation to keep at it is now, that's where there's a problem.
So one of the things you can do is accountability. Stay accountable to someone else who can keep encouraging you. They're not judging you. They know that they can cut you some slack just so that they keep you going. Because if they're too hard on you, they're going to break you. So you can be accountable to someone else, or you can also keep reminding yourself of the results. But it's easier when you're accountable to someone else. For example, I'll tell you a quick story of a gentleman who lost a lot of weight. He was almost becoming obese, and he lost weight. How did he do it? The wife was into dieting and all of that. So just so that she can encourage him, the wife joined him on his diet. The wife didn't really have to lose weight, but just to encourage him, the wife joined in the diet and just kept telling him, you can do it. And if you see this person today, this person is very, very fit. Just because the wife...
What if the wife now, she now gone too slim? Let's say she's okay. She's now doing the diet.
No, she knows how to strike a balance. Okay, exactly. So if you see her today,
how to strike the balance and all of that.
There's the balance there.
And so the payoff, like you said, one other thing you said was keeping the end in mind, right? How does that also help when you keep the end in mind? Because I am still saying, like you mentioned earlier, having a accountability. Now that's something that so many people don't have. Let's say they stay alone. How can you find an accountability partner online? Some people tell you that they go online to post their stuff because they want people to hold them accountable. Does that work?
For some people it works, and the question really is, whatever it is that you want to do that got you into what you're doing currently, how bad do you want it? Do you desperately want it?
How bad do you want it?
If you desperately want it, you will stay at it. And the accountability, don't deceive yourself. Because even when you have a physical accountability partner, they can't force you to do anything. The best they can, well, some will.
So some people, the accountability partner might be their parents.
Exactly.
It depends on it. Maybe it might be saving.
That's true.
And somehow, so there are some that they are forced to. But let's get to...
If you have somebody checking on you from time to time, and you are responsible to them, or you choose to be responsible to them, just having someone check on you from time to time is enough. And if you want them to keep helping you out, you have to choose to be accountable to them. And on the long run, remember, you are the one who gets the benefits, not even the person who is helping you to be accountable. So if you remember you're the one getting the benefits, I think you'd understand that the price is worth it, the pain is worth it, the sacrifice is worth it.
It's worth it. Thank you very much. That was a great one, and I hope people have been able to pick up something there. How to stay consistent, accountability partner, that's a very big one. Hope you're able to pick that. Thank you very much. All right, moving up.